So Baker Mayfield right now, the reason why to me it makes the most sense for him to wait, play out 2021, and then try to get an extension next year is because he came on strong in the second half of 2020. Right, the final 8 games of the year, which includes 2 playoff games against the Steelers and against the Chiefs. 15 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Throwing TDs, not turning the ball over. And this is including on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh, throwing for 263 yards, 3 touchdowns, had a 115.2 passer rating in the first playoff win for the Browns since 1994. He finally looked comfortable in an offense. And Kevin Stefanski's offense, really for the most part, actually accentuated Baker's strengths, which is really something we can't say for most of his career, right? Whether it's Hugh Jackson, whether it's Freddie Kitchens, they kind of put Baker in a tough position to succeed, where Kevin Stefanski actually made Baker's life easy. Now you look at 2021. The offense is returning literally every starter from 2020. And why is that a good thing? Because they have a ton of talent on this team. You have Pro Football Focus, who ranked the Browns' offensive line as number 1 in the NFL in 2020. So Baker, and all 5 of those guys return. So you have Baker now coming back to, in PFF size, the best offensive line from last season coming into this year. You have a running game with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb that finished 3rd in total rushing. So you have a tremendous offense. Running backs, you have solid tight ends and wide receivers, you have a great running game, a great O-line. So you get Baker's stats for what he put up last year, right? He threw for 3,563 yards, 18th most for a quarterback in the NFL. He threw for 26 touchdowns, tied for 12th. He had 8 interceptions, and he finished with a 95.6 passer rating, 15th. So 18th in passing yards, tied for 12th in touchdown passes, 15th in passer rating. Well, when you look at the offense, the offensive line, the running backs, the tight ends, the receivers, all of those are really damn good. I think Baker Mayfield's going to improve on all of those stats in 2021. How about Lamar Jackson? It's hard to repeat what he did in 2019. He was the MVP of the league in 2019. He led the NFL in touchdown passes with 36. He had just 6 interceptions in 2019, led the NFL in QBR. Right, so it was a career year for Lamar Jackson, exploded onto the scene, 14-2 record for the Ravens, best record in the AFC. So it's hard to kind of surpass that. But it felt like, at least to me, the narrative was down on Lamar in 2020. Now, obviously, again, like I just said, it's hard to surpass what you do in an MVP year. So every stat, yards, touchdown passes, interceptions, QBR, all those stats that we just mentioned were lower in 2020 than they were in 2019. Now, we did win a playoff game, but as you know, it's kind of more with his legs. He had a big touchdown run, didn't do much with his arm. For the postseason in 2 games when he beat the Titans, lost to the Bills, no passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions in those 2 playoff games. But again, did win a playoff game for the first time in 3 years. So if I'm Lamar, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I think for them, it makes the most sense to wait. For Josh Allen, the 3rd quarterback, I think for him, he's the only quarterback out of these 3 that it makes the most sense for him to cash in right now. Get that extension done ASAP. Because unlike Baker Mayfield, like we just talked about, unlike Lamar Jackson, like we just talked about, Josh Allen had a career year. He had a tremendous year. Threw for 4,544 yards, 5th most in the NFL. 37 touchdown passes, also 5th most, and had the 3rd best QBR. So everything, and you saw from Josh Allen in year 1 and year 2, compared to year 3, everything was drastically different in a good way, in a positive way. Stephon Diggs is a big reason for that. Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator, is a big reason for that. Josh Allen had everything basically that could go right for him in 2021. He was tremendous. With that said, don't you want to cash in when the iron is hot? That's what I think Josh Allen should be doing here. Not saying that I think he will go back to sucking like he did in year number 1 or making some bonehead decisions in year number 2. How repeatable is his performance in 2021? And forget even repeatable, is he able to surpass what he did in 2021? I would probably say no. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but trying to surpass what he did for 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, very efficient throwing the ball, making great decisions. I don't exactly trust Josh Allen to put up those exact stats again or even surpass what he did.